אנחנו מאמינים בני מאמינים, אנחנו מאמינים בני מאמינים, ואין לנו עמים להישואל, ואין לנו עמים להישואל, אוי אלו אלו על אבינו, אלו אלו על אבינו, אבינו שבשמיים, אנחנו מאמינים בני מאמינים, ואין לנו עמים להישואל.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Boker Tov.
Boker Tov.
Good to be here on Shabbat, learning Hebrew first thing in the morning, waking up our spirit man to the language that one day we will speak for eternity. And the angels are able to understand and speak. So we're so grateful that we can learn the holy tongue of Zephaniah 3:9, restored back to us after the exile. So let's start with a word of prayer and ask the Holy Spirit to lead us and guide us this morning. And we'll do our aleph bet and our 5 vowel sounds, and then we'll go into practicing our syllables, putting together different lengths of sounds of vowels, and kind of progress as we learn to read words. Consonant plus a vowel, consonant plus a vowel. So let's go ahead and bow our heads, and let's start with prayer. Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King, Abba, we thank you for your blessing upon our lives today. We thank you that you created us, spirit, soul, and body, and today we open up our spirit to you to hear, Lord God, your holy tongue, Lashon HaKodesh, and we pray that we would have also within our soul, mind, emotions, and will to understand, to have the feeling of each word and be able to embrace it with love and affection today. And we would choose with our will to want to learn the language that you have given us of the Hebrew Scriptures. And we thank you today, Lord God, that as our Messiah rules and reigns in our hearts, Lord God, even our bodies are yielded vessels to be used by you. Take these lips of clay, speak something eternal through them as we take in the Hebrew tongue, Father, into our life and into our communication. And Father, just give everyone eyes to see, ears to hear, and hearts to understand, and use their lips to speak forth your word. In Yeshua's name we pray. B'Shem Yeshua. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so we've been learning how to create syllables, and we've been learning that there are open and closed syllables. What's the formula for an open syllable?
Consonant.
So the open syllable is a consonant plus a vowel. Okay? And then what is the formula for a closed syllable?
Consonant plus vowel plus consonant.
So consonant plus a vowel plus another consonant. Sometimes they just call it CV or CVC. Okay? So we know that the word shalom has one open, one closed. What's the open syllable for shalom? Sha. Everybody say sha. Sha. Notice how your mouth stays open. What's the closing syllable then? Lom. So notice you have to close your mouth with that final consonant letter, mem, sofit. Okay? So why don't we start with our aleph bet, 5 letters at a time with a short breath, and then we'll go into our vowel sounds. 1, 2, 3. Aleph, bet, camel, dalet, hey. Vav, zayin, chet, tet, yud. Kaf, lamed, mem, nun, samech, ayin, hey, sad, nikkud, resh, shin, tav, tov, meod. Now, our 5 vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, and U, is A, E, I, O, U, the Middle Eastern, Mediterranean, what we also call the Spanish vowel. So let's go ahead and just sound that one time through. 1, 2, 3. A, E, I, O, U. All right. So we said a consonant plus a vowel. So technically we just had 22 consonant letters that we just went through. And we have 11 prefixes. That can be just a letter in front of a word. And we have 5 vowels, including vowel indicators, which are consonant letters that can indicate a vowel or be a vowel. And we also know about our 5 final letters called sofit, like mem, sofit. And we also have our 6 BeGaD KeFaT letters. Okay? So those have special rules. Now, what we've been learning about the syllables is the open and close. So if we take a look at the first handout that is in color that I gave you, you notice that this is a lesson for kids, actually. And this is a book that I learned with at Temple Baruch Hashem in Desert Hot Springs. Thank God for my Rabbi Alon Barak, who's now in Israel. in Hadnes over the Golan Heights. And my Hebrew teacher moved back to Haifa years ago, and we're still in communication, but this is the book that she had the synagogue in Desert Hot Springs use. And we went through volume 1 and 2. So I thought it'd be great to kind of glean from this and some other resources. So this is actually, you see, page 3 in the booklet, but it's lesson 1. So this is again going to pick up on what we looked at last week, open and closed syllables, because you'll see if you have more than one consonant letter, you have possibly one closed syllable, or you have possibly an open syllable with another open syllable, or possibly we might have, I think we only have 2 letters each, but we'll look at what we have. We probably have 2 syllables or 1 syllable, and we'll figure that out. Okay. So now that we've done our Aleph Beit, we'll first start with that. We'll take a look at the 5 words that were given to you on flashcards that Dane did such a great job putting together. And we're going to try to do this on a weekly basis as much as possible to be able to review words, because you need to get familiar with the vocabulary. This is going to be a great way for you to practice, okay? So once we go through the first line, I'm going to pick up one of the words, and we're going to actually see what the word is, and then we'll go through each line and pick a word, okay? So I'll go line, word, line, word, okay? All right, so if you take a look at your paper reading from right to left, we have what consonant letter do we have?
Shin.
The letter Shin, okay? How do we know it's a letter Shin and not Sin? The dot's on the right side. So that's the right way to pronounce the letter Shin, is the dot on the right. Okay, if the dot was on the left, what sound would you hear instead of the sh? You would hear an S sound for Sin, right? So here we have the letter Shin because the dot's on the right. The same letter that we use for Shabbat or for Shalom, right? Like today we would not just say Shalom for hello, we say Shabbat Shalom. And so here we have underneath a line. Usually when you see lines under a letter, what sound will you hear? Ah. Especially one line like this called the patach, you actually will pronounce always a ah sound. Now, this happens to be what we call a medium length, or what some call short vowel sound. So why don't you pronounce the sh with the ah sound for me? Sha. Very good. Sha. Okay? So it's not sha, it's sha. Okay? Sha. All right? Just so you can kind of get familiar with the timing. All right? Now, what's the next Hebrew letter that we have?
Beit.
The letter Beit. And how do you know it's the letter Beit and not Beit?
Because of the dagesh.
It has a dagesh. The dagesh in the center, the dot, dagesh is just referring to the dot, actually being one of our BeGaD KeFaT letters gives it a strong B sound over a softened B, which would sound like a V. And so we know that this is a B sound. So we have a B letter and the B sound. What's the vowel underneath? It's kamatz, which is again lines under the letter, and most of the time this little T-looking symbol, the kamatz, is going to be an ah sound again, but a long ah. So why don't you pronounce the B and the ah sound together? Ba. Very good. Ba. We're almost ready to spell the word, aren't we? Okay. What's the next letter there?
Tav.
The next letter is a tav, and what sound does it have? Okay. So what's underneath it?
The tav.
The patah, the same as the first letter that we started with. So what sound do we have? Ta. Ta. So we have what?
Shabbat.
Well, don't read the word. Just say
Ta.
ta. What's this one?
Tav.
Ta. So we have sha,
Ba.
ba,
Ta.
ta, ta. So we have a longer ah sound on both of these. Okay. So if you just took 3 of those letters, the first 3, you could actually spell what word?
Shabbat.
Shabbat. And you would do that one letter at a time. Of course, you would eliminate the top underneath the top, but this is just for the purpose of doing syllables. Now, what kind of syllables are these? Open or closed?
Open.
They're open. And how many syllables do we have?
4.
1, right? Because we only have 1 consonant letter.
1 per.
So how do you read a syllable? 1 letter at a time. 1 letter with its accompanying vowel. 1 letter with accompanying vowel. And that's how you read. Big Hebrew words, you break it down into small syllables. Okay? So let's go to the first word that I want to go to. It's found in Genesis 1:1. Let's go to this word here. So everybody pull out your aleph and your tav. Okay. And if you notice on the back, you have possible vowel pronunciations or vowel combinations there. So here we have the word et. Okay. So I'm going to write it with the Sabol. Et is seen here to be a mark, a direct object indicator. It can mean with at times. It can be translated even with at times. And I'll stop there just so I can focus on the main components. Now, what's the pictograph for the aleph?
Accent.
It's an accent. What's the pictograph for a
Tav is a
Tav.
mark or a cross.
A mark or a cross? So if you're looking towards a vantage point of trying to get to a certain point or a mark, the ox has to plow straight through. So this is a direct object indicator indicating something that I'm going towards. It can also be connected with. We use it with a pronominal suffix to be able to say things like I love you. So I would say to my wife, Ani ohev
At.
no.
Ata?
No.
No.
Otcha for a man, otach for a woman. Otach. Whenever you hear the with the glottal stop there, it's always feminine. Like mashlomech is for a woman. Mashlomcha is for a man. So we would actually say, I would say to my wife, Ani ohev otach. But I would say to Yeshua, being a male, I love you, I would say, Ani ohev otcha. I love you. Ani, I. Ohev is the verb to love, from ahavav, or ahav, the root. And then we would say, et, we put here, the chaf sofit. Okay? We would also have to add in a vowel, right? So here we have otach. So it's actually the direct object indicator, because when I say I love you, I'm pointing to a direct object, someone that I'm loving, or someone I'm with, or someone I'm connected to. So the aleph, the accent, is plowing towards the mark of the goal of saying I love you. And so we have to use et in between a vowel and a direct object. I mean a verb and a direct object. So whenever you have a verb, you have a direct object, you use et. Okay? So without going real deep on that, that's our first word that we're looking at. And so this is spelled with the aleph and the tav. And normally, let's say for instance, if you have sabol underneath here, how many syllables do you have? One. But what kind of syllable is it? Close. So we have consonant with a vowel and then a closing consonant there. So we have a CVC. Okay? Close. All right. So let's take a look at line number 2 and see if we can progress from one syllable to 2 syllables. So what do we have here? Shabbat. We don't have Shabbat, we have Shabbat, right? From a medium to long sound here, Shabbat, Shabbat. Okay, how about this one? Shatah. Very good. What do we have here? Bata. Bata. Remember the long here, medium here. Okay? So how about this combination? Basha. Not to be confused with El Basha market, right? All right, so here we have line 2. And was there any questions on that second line? Did everybody understand that they're all, basically what we have is 2 open syllables in each one. Now none of these are words. These are just combinations of sounds that you can hear in any word. So let's do it one more time.
Shabbat.
Shabbat. Shabbat. Bata. Basha. Very good. See, the only change in difference was the kamat to the patak versus the patak to the kamat. We went from medium to long versus this one we went long medium. That's going to give you the hint of where the accent is, because wherever the long syllable is, that's where the accent is. Because you're sounding longer, so you're leaning on it longer, that's where the accent goes. Okay? One more time.
Shabbat. Shata.
Bata. Basha. Okay. Anybody have a problem with that? Let me see those that took a second to try to figure it out. Okay, so we know you need to work on your combinations. This is very important. So you can take this home and practice with it. Even maybe have someone write it on a board or piece of paper for you, and then all of a sudden you have to give it, or maybe you just write on here the transliteration of it. Okay? So let's go to our next word. Here I'm going to go for el. El. Let's try that one. All right, so here you have el. We use it a lot in the Torah. Vayomer Adonai El Moshe, or Vadaber Adonai El Moshe, the Lord said, or the Lord spoke to Moses saying. And so it's the word to. It could also be referring to towards. We say it in the Aharon benediction, that the Lord will shine towards you or to you, shine his face upon you. And so we use this all the time in referring to you or towards you. Okay? So here we have El. Now we know, depending on the vowel, it can refer to God. Because El and Elohim, the vowel is different. Like for instance, on Elohim, we have a Hatuf. We have a Sagol Hatuf. We have a shortened form of Sagol. So the vowel underneath for Elohim is a Sagol with the Shabbat next to it. So that's shorter than a Sagol. That's a short, very short sound. Elohim. Elohim. Right? You don't say Elohim. You say Elohim. It's quick. It's fast. Okay? So here you've got short, medium, long. Elohim. See the timing? Elohim. So what if I put one of these words up here? I take El. Let's say if I change this out to El. Okay, and let's do this sound here. Everybody pronounce that? El. Really quick. El. That's what you have here. El. And then if I added the holem there. Hello. I'll never forget talking to some Germans, and I said, Ivrit saying, or no, I said, Guten Tag, and they looked at me kind of funny because they were a young couple, and they're like, Hallo. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm speaking your language, and now you sound like you're speaking mine. But that was kind of a funny thing that happened. And then they began to tell me that no one really uses it. It's too formal. I said, well, in America, we get even more or less formal. We kind of say, hey, what's up? What's up? You know? Okay, so word number 2 here. We could use that in the Torah. Vadaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor. Vadaber means and the Lord, or and spoke the Lord to Moshe. El Moshe would be to Moshe. Okay? So we have El here, right? So then, if I finish this off, this could be Elohim. This would be the longest vowel in all. So from a short to a medium to a long vowel. Im. Right? And then you have a final letter here. What is this? Mem, sofit. Okay. So let's go to our third line. Sound this for me? Baba. Is that a word? No. Baba. Long vowel here. Baba. Right? Like Shabbat. Same vowels. Shabbat. Here's this one. Shasha. Shata. Very good. Bata. Very good. It's the reverse of this, right? Bata versus bata. Remember, it's the same vowels as Shabbat. Medium long. Shabbat. Bata. Shata. Shasha. Baba. Right? Okay, so what's our next word? Let's go to al. So I'll change this one out. And we'll put the ein here, the other silent letter, ein. Right, we have aleph and we have ein. And in this case, what we're going to see on the back is The patak underneath, al. Al. This means on, primarily. It means on. It means to be over above something. And that you're familiar with the airlines El Al. And so to go up on or up in the air, it almost sounds like to go up to God, right?
Right.
But the idea is al means on. If I say al hakise, on the, I have to tap the chair. On the chair, al hashulchan, which is on the table, I would use al for on. So this one is on. Al. Everyone say that. Al. Al means on or upon. Okay? So that is also an example of a closed consonant, isn't it?
Yes.
Al. Because I have a consonant plus a vowel plus a consonant. Okay? Line 4.
Ba.
No, there's no vowel underneath the second base.
Bob.
Bob. Hey Bob, how you doing, Bob? How about this one? Shash. Very similar to shesh. Right? What's shesh?
6.
6. Very good. But this is shot. I mean shash. Okay, what's this one? What's this one?
Shot.
Shot. Take a shot in the dark, right? What's this one?
Bat.
Bat. What's bat?
Daughter.
Bat mitzvah. Bat mitzvah, daughter, right?
Daughter.
So when you say a bat mitzvah, you're saying a daughter of the mitzvah, the commandment. Okay? Very good. You did that quickly. Now, what's this is an example of? They all have one vowel, but you have 2 consonants.
Close.
So it's closed. Bob, shash, shot, and bat. All closed syllables. Okay? Okay, next word. Let's go to shel. So now we're going to switch out. I love this. It's so easy. I just switch out one letter. And we have shel. So we're going to have our dot on the right side for the sound. So here we have shel. We use shel all the time. Of. When we don't want to use shel, not shell oil, not shell gas station, but when we don't want to use shell, we use it a construct state to eliminate shell for of. Right? So if I say bat mitzvah, it's in a construct state, daughter of the commandment or of the mitzvah, right? But I technically could in a formal way, say shel. Bat shel mitzvah. Because this is the official word for of. Okay? So shel is of, and it's speaking of ownership as a possessive in the sense of this, of that. Okay? So shel is used all the time. Now we can also put a suffix on the end of that. Sheli. What does sheli mean? Mine. So, bat sheli. My daughter. Daughter of mine. Of me. Because the sheli, the yud at the end is from anachnu. I mean from ani. And we put that at the end. Okay? Shelanu.
Ours.
Of us. Right? So shelo. His. Of his. Shelo. So it's shel with the pronominal suffix at the end that refers to either, if I'm saying I or you or we, I'm just adding, when I say anachnu or I say avinu, I'm taking av and putting the inu at the end, right? Or avi, I'm putting the yud at the end because I'm making it a possessive. My father, our father. It's the same here. Of us, of me, of yours, right? So shel is the base word there. Very good. All right, so now let's take a look at number 5, our final one. And how funny, we have 5 final letters and now we have 5. Well, there's more for you to do homework at home, do 6 and 7 on your own. But we're going to do this one as our last one today. All right, so here we have a combination of a sheen and a tav with a kamatz underneath. So what sound do we have?
Shot.
We have shot. And I did the throwing, yes, shot. Okay, so in it, we had that one already, didn't
Yeah, but it was a shorter. It's at the top.
we? Okay, so we have shot. Okay, like a Shabbat. We have the at sound, longer. Okay, so we have shot. The other one's a shot. Quick shot. No, I'm just kidding. Got that from the day. No, I'm just kidding. So this is shot, a little longer a sound, right? What's this one? Bash. Okay, what's this sound here?
Ba.
Ba. Okay, so we have that twice, and it's okay. It's on there twice. Okay, and then this combination. Shab. Shab. What if it was without the dagesh? Shab. But this gives no the dagesh. So what are these? Are these closed or open?
Closed.
These are also closed. Perfect example. Now, notice that Shabbat is on line 6. And it's the third word in. So we took some of these same sounds and we made Shabbat. Okay, Shabbat. Right. All right. So then the last word we'll look at on your flashcards is kol. Now this time I have to actually reverse the letters and put the lamed last. Right? Oh no, I could have left it there. No, I had it right. My brain went American for a minute. And so we're going to have one of the rare times that the kamats is used for a O sound. Not a long A, but a medium O, and that is in kol. Kol. Now, this is one of those words you just memorize that when you see this combination, that kamats is actually going to be an O sound, kol. And it means what? All. Kol. So I can do the same thing, add a suffix at the end. I can change kol to kulanu. Kulanu. Kulanu ke'echad. Kulanu. All of us ke'echad. As one. Like one. So there's a song. Kulanu ke'echad. All of us as one. Alright? So kulanu would come from that word kol. Okay? Not to be confused with the other word kol, which means voice. Okay, but this is the last word here, and this is something for you to practice. It means all.
Is the voice spelled the same? Cold voice?
No, it's not spelled the same. It's spelled with the letter. Okay, so yes, spelled. All right, so basically we have 5 lines that we've practiced, and you've done a great job. We've reviewed our vowels. And we've also looked at our 5 cue cards or flashcards. So how many feel like you got something out of this today?
Yes.
How many feel like you have some homework to do?
Yep.
All right, once you come back, we'll review next week what you did with line number 6 and number 7, okay? Let's close in prayer. Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King, we thank you, Lord God, today for the ability to not only recognize the Hebrew letters, the Hebrew tongue, Father, being able to pronounce each syllable of each word so we can understand what these words mean, that we sing, that we use to praise you, that we use to worship you, that we use to bless your name. And Father, I thank you, Lord God, for blessing this time on this Shabbat, Lord God, that you've given us wisdom and understanding and knowledge. Let the light of Yeshua shine through us today. Refresh us with your spirit, God, and cause us to trust you and to believe in you and be like that generation that went into the promised land instead of those that died in the wilderness. I just thank you, Lord God, for giving us the ability to learn our Hebraic roots in our faith, Father, and we pray that Yeshua would be lifted up so all men, both Jew and Gentile, would be drawn to you, Father, in Yeshua's name. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat tov.
Yeshua Meshiach